Hello, everyone, and welcome to our second live on the Global Maths and Science Day 2022. 2022. And I've got the amazing, I don't know who that is, but our guest is Steve Sherman from Living Maths. I have no
It is
idea who
indeed.
who that weird person is. And Steve Sherman from Living Maths. And what I'm going to tell you is of maths and science and things. And it's called Living Maths. Africa. And Steve and this is one of the greatest things. He's a Microsoft innovative education expert, and he does outreach with Humans to Mars. He works with NASA, and he does what used to be Skype. He's like a global facilitator of global. He basically is really good at getting people all around the world to do math and the mathletics and the annual Living Maths Space Tour in South Africa. And he's the dad of 2 teenagers. And I like the way you didn't mention you're an amazing, well, actually, I'll find out if you're an amazing husband because I get to meet Mrs. Steve on Friday and I'm really excited. And he's also a participant in Maths Week Ireland. Didn't mention that. So my conclusion is that Steve is truly dedicated to living maths. Welcome, Steve, and thank you so much for being our variety act for Global Maths and Science lesson.
Thank you so much.
Over to you.
Now, I'm not sure if your connectivity, if it's my side or your side, but every now and again you did a bit, but I think it's my side. I think it's the quality of the internet on the side here. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to a fabulous edition. Yes. Yeah, you were saying?
I was just sorry, I interrupted you. I plugged the hardware in. I plugged in the hardwire just in case it's me.
Okay, well, that's not a problem. The most important thing is that, of course, we are here to celebrate mathematics. And, you know, I get the privilege of going around to schools and asking students, you know, do you love maths? And sadly, a lot of hands do not go up. And then I asked them, do you like music? And they all put up their hands. And that's when I introduced them to the idea of being a hypocrite. And they often say to me, but why am I a hypocrite if I like music, but I don't like maths? And that is because if you tell me that you like music, it doesn't mean you like all types of music, but you still like music. You don't like opera. You don't like Guatemalan throat singing, if there's even that sort of style. But hey, you still like music. So mathematics is very similar. You might not like fractions, or you might not like geometry, but that's only 2 small parts of mathematics. There are so many other parts, and it's not fair to judge the whole of mathematics on just 1 or 2 sections. So hopefully, when people think of mathematics, they often say, I love maths, just like they love music, but there are certain parts of maths that I don't particularly enjoy, and hopefully over time, I can learn to fall in love with those parts. Does that make sense to you?
Makes sense to me. I have to say that there are times when your hands go behind your face. It's really bizarre.
I have the ability to do these crazy things. Well, you know, I'm just trying to think about a trick that I was going to show you, and it's something that I'm going to be bringing through to Ireland, because I was on the internet and someone played a video, and I don't know about you, but this happens to me all the time. You're sometimes on the internet and you see a video on Facebook and you think, oh, that is perfect. I would love to try and do that thing, whatever it was that you saw on Facebook. And then, of course, you go along and you try it, and you sometimes succeed and sometimes you fail. Well, I just thought this would be an amazing thing if I could do it. And I'm just testing to see if it works. And oh, yes, it almost works. And let's bring that to the front. And if that goes like that, then I've almost got it. And let me show you what I'm talking about.
Oh, too late. I was just about to say, please say hello if you're viewing. Put in something in the comments so we know who you are. But they just popped off for a second. They'll be back. Keep going.
No problem. So I was very privileged to see this video, and I'm going to try to share my screen with you just to show you. It's a very famous puzzle from the wonderful Sam Lloyd. And if you've ever seen any of Sam Lloyd's puzzles, too many to mention. But we're going to try to share this particular screen. Let's see if it works. And I'm going to go to the window. Right. Are you able to see my screen?
I just got to put it in. I've got to add to stream. There we go. And hey presto. Ooh.
And we've got 3
yes.
pictures. We've got 2 donkeys and we've got 2 riders. And we need to get the riders on top of the donkeys. Now, you're not allowed to, and of course you print this out. You're not allowed to bend this piece of paper, and you've got these 2 cards, and you want to try and get these 2 riders onto the donkeys. So what some people do is they start off and they go, what would happen if I had this one like that? I put the 2 cards like this, and then I take the 2 riders and I put them on like this. Clearly that is not going to work. So then you think, okay, well, hold on. Let's turn one of these donkeys.
The bottom one needs to be upside down, yeah.
Well, let's do that. We're going to turn that donkey upside down, put them like this. And of course, let's see what happens. If I put that on there, oh no, what's going on? He's not fully on the donkey.
Do you know, I saw this about 2 weeks ago, and for the life of me, I don't remember how it works. I did see it.
I mean, I sat there playing with it, and then, of course, the answer was revealed, and the answer was very surprising. And here's the thing. Yes, it was very surprising. I won't deny it. But mathematics can sometimes be very surprising. So if I recall correctly, you put the 2 back to back like this. And you take this one, and then what you do it this way. And let me tell you that is surprising.
It is surprising. I don't know about
you, but I think that's very surprising.
It is, and it's actually more realistic, because you can have a horse leaping more or less vertically upwards just for a moment, and you can have a horse more or less flying downwards vertically just for a moment. But having riding a horse upside down isn't really feasible on our planet.
Correct. And of course, you've got to, I mean, I did adjust these a little bit. So maybe if I work that one just a teeny bit, and maybe I work this one just a teeny bit, then I can get them to be the right size. Something like that. There we go. That's a little bit better. Isn't that awesome? So I think that's amazing. And what I'll do, if you're interested, is I'll share the link with you. And then you can share that with your peeps.
Well, what we'll do is we'll put it in the description afterwards. The one on YouTube, we'll add it to the description. So
Wonderful.
It'll be there forever and ever and ever.
Awesome. So I thought I'd introduce that to you because I love a great brain teaser that isn't too difficult from it's one of those brain teasers that when you come home in the evening, you don't go, oh, I'm so tired. I really don't have the time to try and think this through. This one is just quite visual, and you play with it and you think to yourself, there must be an answer, but the answer is not intuitive.
No,
They
it
would
really
never
isn't.
guess that answer.
But I'm being extremely distracted by this face. We just had a flash. You did a magician's flash of your real face when you put your hand over your face.
I did. Every now and again, I can do this little flash, and then something happens. I can go, and then all of a sudden, I can change my hair, and I can be the wild, crazy person that I normally am. And then, of course, you never know. I might even go for the old bearded look. Look at that. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, it's a wrong
It
color.
actually does look
Sorry.
quite realistic, but then, of course, my hand goes behind it, which is quite impressive. I don't think I can put my hand in front of it.
Santa does
Actually,
that. Santa scratches
almost.
under his beard.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you see, that's all mathematics, of course. They've written algorithms to follow my face wherever I move. And one of my favorite ones is a great algorithm, and that is this one here, because as you move your head, it actually gets the hair to move in the appropriate way. And you don't realize how much mathematics goes into creating these amazing filters. But they have to match your face. They have to move as you move. There's a little bit of gravity going on there. I think it's absolutely amazing. But I thought we'd do another magic trick. Would you like to see a magic trick?
Oh, yeah. Well, silly question.
Well, no, I was just checking. So I'm going to share my screen with you once again. Let me just first find it. Oh, yes. This is it. And present. And this is what we call a magic square. Is it a magic square? Well, no, it's not the standard magic square that you would expect, where every row, column, and diagonal adds up to the same value. But what I would like you to do is pick any one of these 16 numbers.
Okay, it doesn't have. Let me see. Okay, I've got one of my favorite numbers.
Which one would you like?
I'd like the one I'm looking at. Oh, I've got to tell you.
Oh, you must tell me. Yes.
Okay, 15.
15. This one here or this one here?
Well, no, I missed
the
that.
bottom left-hand corner or the one on the second row?
Oh, sorry, I couldn't see the mouse. The one on the second row, third column.
This one here.
Yeah.
So what you do is you circle the number and you cross out the rest of the row and the rest of the column.
Okay.
Now pick another number that's still left.
15.
The other 15.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Cross out the rest of the row and the rest of the column. We've still got 4 numbers left. Which one would you like?
Lucky 13.
Lucky 13. Cross out the rest of the row and the rest of the column. And I suppose we're left with one more number, and that is 14. So you've got 15 and 15 and 13 and 14. And what does that add up to?
57.
57. Now, I didn't know which numbers you were going to choose. Is that correct?
Correct.
But I think I could predict your number.
Okay.
Would you like me to prove it?
Yes.
Because hiding underneath this block was my prediction, 57. Now, how did I know that that was your number? I didn't know which numbers you were going to choose.
Because any time you have something that's got its own row and column, every time you have that, they all do that. Like rows and columns do
Let's do it again.
It'll always add up to 57.
If we pick just 20 and we cross out the row and the column.
Yeah, but you're picking. I want to pick.
Oh, you pick one. Go for it.
I'm going to make it simple. The diagonal going down 13, 15, and 9.
So if we do that, we cross out the rest of the row and the rest of the column. We cross that out. We cross out the rest of the row and the rest of the column. And we're left with that one. And of course, 20 and 13 and 15 and 9 makes...
Yeah, 57.
Now, why does it make 57? Does it make 57 all the time? This is the big question. Does it make 57 every time?
Plus 9 is 57. So the diagonals will always make 57. And then the other ones, the diagonals definitely make 57. I've just checked because they are exclusive to row and, we've got their own row and their own column.
Uh-huh. Well, here's the interesting thing. When I show you the mathematics behind it, you're going to go, what? Is that easy?
I'm ready.
All I did was I took one of these over here. I created, instead of a 4x4, I created a 5x5.
Yeah.
And I picked random numbers and put them into these blue blocks on the left and on top. So let's pretend I chose 12 over there. And let's pretend I choose 9 over there. And 1 over here. And 21 over there. Then, of course, the answer would be 76. But why does it work? What's the mathematical explanation? Well, I don't know if you noticed this, but what is 8 plus 12?
20.
What is 4 plus 12?
16.
So in other words, these two, when you add the two outer numbers, will give you the inner number. Does that make sense?
When you add,
and of course, 12 and 21 will make 33. 8 and 9 will make 17. 4 and 9 will make 13. And that is how I created the yellow bits. But still, why do I get the answer of 76? How do I know it's going to be 76? Well, the best way to explain it is like this. It doesn't matter what number you choose here, 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 or here, 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 or here. Simply because if you choose, let's say, the number E over there and A over here, do you agree this block will be A plus E?
Yep.
And of course, this will be A plus F.
Yeah.
And that will be A plus G, and that will be A plus H. Agreed?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And of course, the same thing would happen with B. It would be B plus E, B plus F, B plus G, and B plus H. And so on and so forth. Now I ask you to pick any number. So let's say you pick this one here. If I cross out the rest of the row and the rest of the column, what am I eliminating when I choose A plus E? What am I eliminating?
You're eliminating all the rest of the E's and all the rest of the A's.
So now there are going to be no other A's and no other E's. Let's pretend you choose that one. I'm getting rid of everything in that row and that column. So guess what? I now have C plus H, and now I'm getting rid of what?
So it's going to be A plus B plus C plus D, whatever that equals.
You're on the right track. There we go. So of course, if I eliminate that, then I've got
it's A plus E. No, it's all those added together. It's the yellow ones all added together.
Correct. So here we've got D plus F. If I cross out the rest of the row and the rest of the column, I'm going to have D plus F. And the last one that we have not chosen would be B plus G. And of course, that means that if I go and add them all together, and as you know, mathematically speaking, you can add them in any order. I've got A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F plus G plus H. In other words,
I can't do that because it's algebra, so I can't do that.
Well, we weren't even using algebra. We were just looking at the letters.
No, you were using letters. That's algebra, right?
Well, let's do that with numbers. So here we have our numbers.
I was kind of thinking it was a really nice, simple way of actually using numbers to debunk the myth that algebra is a mystery. So
correct.
I think that's quite a nice thing to use to debunk that. But yes, well, use numbers. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Why don't we just do this? We can go.
Oh, I like the fact that you've got repeated numbers there.
1, 3, 4, and 7. Notice I'm choosing smaller numbers.
I'd also 2, like you to repeat the numbers. I like that idea.
6, and 4. Okay. So now, as you notice, these numbers in yellow were created by adding those two together. So in Excel, as you know, when you click on the block, you can actually make the formula that this block here, which is C number 6, is made by adding this one here. Sorry, C number 7 is made up by adding that number and that number. So I would go like this. This is equal. Let's try that again. This one here is equal to this plus this. And I did the same thing for each of those.
Yeah.
So if I change any of those numbers, it'll automatically update this picture over here.
Fantastic.
And then, of course, as you correctly pointed out, if you add all the blue ones, 1 and 3 is 4 and 4 is 8 and 7 is 15. And if I add 8 and 6, that's going to be 14 and 4 makes 18, 15. And if we add 15 and 18 together, we're going to get 33. So that is the mystery number. So what I could have done is I could have written 33 on a piece of paper, hidden it under your pillow. And then when I do this with you, I only give you the yellow bit. So the way I would normally do it is I copy. And then when I paste it, to see if it works, I must paste special the values. I mustn't paste the formula, if you know what I'm saying, because then it's going to all be naught, because it's going to take all the numbers on the top and all the numbers inside, which is nothing. So I have to copy the actual values. And then, of course, once I've done that, I can go a little bit fancy. I can make them bigger. I can put them in the middle like that. And I can go, look at this lovely square. Why don't you pick any number? So let's pretend you pick that one there. We cross out the row and the column. Let's pretend you pick that one there. We cross out the rest of the row and the column. You pick this one here. We cross out the row and the column, and the last one left is that one. And of course, you're going to have 5, 5, 10, and 13, and that makes 33. And we are not surprised because we wrote that on a piece of paper. And we said to you, oh, you chose those numbers at random. Do you agree I did not force you to choose anything? Was your number going to add up to 33?
Yeah,
and then we're going, unbelievable. And what I would normally do is have about 4 or 5 of these and then give them the first one. And then when they've done that, I give them a second one because I want the mystery number to be different each time. And what is fascinating is you always get one person who goes, I know how this works. All the time you add 4 numbers together, it always gives you 33. So you go, oh, really? Well, let's test that theory. 5 and 9 and 9 and 7. And of course, 5 and 9 is 14. 9 and 7 is 16. Oh, no, that makes 30. It doesn't make 33. And then they go, that's weird. They don't realize that, of course, if you choose something in this row, you're not allowed to choose anything else in that row.
Critical thing, yeah.
So what do you think about that trick? Was that a fun trick?
I love it. But I have a question, Mr. Technology.
Yes.
How on earth did you write on top of an Excel file?
Ooh, I love it when we get to teach people new things. So when you go and make a purchase of one of these things, it is a tablet. And
is it a writing tablet?
It's a USB little tablet. It's a writing tablet, not an iPad.
Yeah.
And then you get these little pens that come with it. This one is a Wacom tablet. Then when you are and this is actually very useful, and I'll show you where I often use it. If I am, for example, doing, let's say, this one over here. Let's pretend I'm in this document.
Let me add it, and go ahead.
So this was our one with the donkeys. I might say, did you notice over here? And as I start drawing, the draw menu pops up over there.
Okay.
And then I can start doing crazy things. I can write, I can change, I can highlight, I can erase, which is very nice. So when you're explaining things on a Word document, that can be pretty helpful. Do you remember the trick that I used to do where I ask you to guess a number between 1 and 63? Do you remember that one?
Yeah, but memory's not my forte, Steve.
Okay, well, it's happened to be mine. So let me load it up quickly.
Okay.
I'll load it up quickly. Let's see if I can find it here under math shows. Here we go. And Magic Mind Reader.
It's why I can enjoy the same thing again and again and again, because I don't remember them.
Well, this is beautiful that at least you get to enjoy it.
Exactly.
So here we go. Right. Is my screen still showing you the Magic Mind Reader?
I've got no. We've got the horses.
You've got the horses. So then I have to stop sharing and then share again, which I shall do. Where is the...
Well, at least we can see your face now, even if your hair's weird.
Present.
Mind you, that'd be perfectly acceptable if you did have hair like that.
This is true.
There's nothing wrong
I agree. I agree. So this is obviously that wonderful trick where you ask someone to pick a number from 1 to 63. So have you got a number from 1 to 63?
I do.
Okay. Is your number on slide A?
Oh, this one. Yeah. Is it on slide A? Nope.
Is it on slide B?
Nope.
Slide C?
I do remember it now. Yes.
On D?
Yes.
On E?
Yes.
And on F?
Yes.
Were you thinking of the number 60?
I was. It's my age.
Wow. Now, of course, if I'm explaining that to someone might say, well, how does it work? And it's so nice to be able to draw on the PowerPoint and say, well, if you chose the number 60, blah, 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 and then you can explain how the whole thing works. But of course, I don't only use it for that. I often use an interactive whiteboard. So when I'm teaching mathematics, for example, in the classroom, I would want everyone to be able to access a whiteboard. Here's a cool thing for you if you haven't ever seen this before. And if there are any teachers, this is for you as well. You go to whiteboard.chat.
Whiteboard.chat.
Whiteboard.chat. I'm going to share my screen with you again because you're going to absolutely love this one. So let's go to present, share screen, and I will go to my whiteboard.chat. Okay, so when you go to whiteboard.chat, I click start class. And hopefully it does eventually get there. There we go. And what you'll notice is that I've got all the things that I need in a whiteboard, but there are lots more that people don't realize. For example, there's a little toolbox over here. You can, let's see, let's add a grid. How about a grid like that?
Ooh, nice.
So if I'm doing a mathematical lesson on graphs, this is just perfect for finding the intercepts, drawing the lines, etc. And of course, you don't have to only use that tool. You can also use a line drawing tool, and you can join lines with a little bit more accuracy. But here's what I like about this. I say to you, invite, and I copy that, and I post this in the chat with you. So I'm going to go to your chat over here. Now, what you do is you click on that link in the chat. And as soon as you do, I will see you popping up on the screen on the top right to say that you have joined. You have now joined the whiteboard. So if I went like this, what is 4 plus 3? And I put a nice big box in, I ask you to fill it in. I, as a teacher, can click on grid view on the bottom, and I can see all my students that have signed in, and I can actually see that you wrote hello and you wrote the number 7. So I'm able to see all the work that the kids are doing in a classroom, or if they are online. You can also load YouTube videos.
So you're not all writing on the same screen. You're writing on your own whiteboard, and then you can look on them all. And what was the last thing you said? YouTube. Sorry, what was the last thing you said?
So, for example, if you have a look at the main board over here, there are these things on the side. These are gizmos.
Hold on, I'm going to come back to you.
If I click on the gizmos, I can choose math symbols, manipulatives, 3D shapes. I can go to block code, mind maps, tangrams. Let's go to tangrams. Here we go. I can add that piece. I can add this piece.
Oh, wow.
I can add this
tangrams.
piece. So you can now create your own little tangrams. And of course, if you want to move them, you've just got to, let's close that off. We can right click on it, I believe. Let's see if it works. We should be able to move them.
Do you need to be in tangram mode to be able to move it?
No, I think it's because it's just misbehaving itself. Let me refresh the page.
But that's great because everyone can't see each other's answers, so you're not
correct.
If you want them to see an incorrect answer, you can, but nobody sees all the correct answers, so it's not going to prompt them to just give that answer.
Correct. Well, with the gizmos over here and the tangrams, you're supposed to be able to manipulate them. And of course, not only do you have those, if I go to the maths manipulatives, if you've got 10 blocks, you've got your 1,000 blocks.
Oh, wow.
So teachers can interact with them. And what I like about this is that whatever I put onto my board, if I go to the grid view, it goes onto everyone else's board. So as a teacher, I can put a worksheet, a PDF on the screen, and whatever you write on that PDF, only your board has it, not mine. So there are amazing features apart from the gizmos. There are also widgets. And the widgets have got things like calculators, clocks.
Gizmos and widgets?
Yes. You can do, for example, a spinner. So if you want to take all the students that have signed in and create a spinner with their names. So if I go along to my single view and I go and put a spinner over here, then if I click on it, it'll spin the two names and pick one. Isn't that amazing? Of course, I can add my own ones too, but these are the kind of things you can do with it. And over here, for example, if I upload a PDF, I can upload a photo. I can even upload from my phone. So watch this. I think this is a pretty cool thing. Let's try as an experiment. I go to phone scanner. So I take my phone and I take a photograph of the, where's my QR code reader?
No way.
Got it. And now I'm going to take a photograph with my phone, upload the photo as a scanner, and I'm going to go like this.
Steve, I've got bad news for you. Steve, if you take a selfie, it won't have the hair. Sorry about that.
Oh, I know, but that's why I took a picture of the door outside, and I've taken the photo, and now I'm going to go to upload.
I didn't want you to be disappointed if you took a selfie and it didn't have the hair.
But now have a look. The photo that I wanted to show you is uploaded. So now all of a sudden, I can go along and draw on the board and say, well, let me show you. These are pieces of gym equipment that are basically there to hold clothing.
Hold clothes,
and other paraphernalia.
Yeah. I'm familiar with that.
So this is the one thing about this particular program. It's very amazing. I think it's amazing. And it's free, which is absolutely awesome. You can also type in text. You can also put a maths equation solver. There's a maths editor. There's a text-to-speech button. There is handwriting. Let's see, if you go to handwriting.
Are you using your little pad? Are you using your pad to write? So
there we go. I wrote hello and look what it did.
Are
you that the word?
Oh wow. But are you using your pad? Are you using your right, okay.
So if I write Caroline. Look at that. It actually understood what I was writing. So there are many features that you can use in it. Plus, you can also, now they've added this new little feature, you can give a video call to the person that you are working with. So if you've got 4 or 5 people in a meeting, you can have a video call, all share the same whiteboard, and you can obviously add extra whiteboards on So you can actually pre-plan the lesson and say, right, we're starting on whiteboard number 1, everyone. And now we're going on to whiteboard number 2. And you just work it that way.
Wow.
Fantastic. So there you've seen some incredible tools to use.
Yes, indeed.
And you can imagine when you're teaching mathematics, you do want to have a useful tool, something that's powerful, because, you know, if I'm explaining a problem to the students, I often find that, you know, a picture is very helpful in helping the student to understand a concept. And that way I can quite simply draw something. So for example, tonight I'm teaching in New York for the Museum of Mathematics. And we do a problem. Wonderful. And then the kids need to understand how I got the actual solution. And I obviously share the link with them, and they all sign on to their own little whiteboards. And I can actually see the work that they're doing, and gives me an opportunity to give guidance to say, well, maybe you need to do this, or maybe you need to do this. And that's all from the comfort of sitting at a computer.
In Cape Town.
In Cape Town. But next week, I'll be with you in Ireland.
In Ireland. So the question is, are you going to be doing online stuff or doing like PowerPoints? What?
So I'm going to be doing a lot of math shows. And I'm also going to be doing workshops for teachers. I'm also running a scavenger hunt, which is very exciting.
An online one or a for real one?
It's an online one for real, if that makes sense. So what happens is you sign in to an app, and then your cell phone shows you the various missions you need to accomplish. So maybe you need to juggle 3 pairs of socks. So what you need to do is go get 3 pairs of socks and film yourself juggling, and then submit your entry. And then I will know if you've done it or not.
I saw one of your, I wasn't able to finish it, but I started one of your scavenger hunts last year or the year before. Last year it must have been. So would this be kids at home, doing this at home?
So yeah, we've got a family one, and they also asked me to create one for teens at school. So that one, obviously they only have a limited amount of time and limited access to resources. So you've got to try and do the types of missions that would be applicable for that age group, but also something that you could find in a classroom, not something that you would be expected to find at home.
Well, it's going to be fab. Ireland's so lucky to have you.
Oh, I think it's the other way around. I'm so lucky to have you, because you see, I've seen you in action and I know how awesome you are. So I can't wait to see you in action again, but this time in a completely different country.
I know, because we yes, I haven't. I did. I went, no, it wasn't you, Steve. It was Mini Steve. It was Mini Me that I saw in action when I was there that first time. I haven't seen you in action.
Oh, no, you haven't seen me in action.
No, so only online.
Hopefully it's going to happen, because we're doing a little bit of street busking and all those sorts of things. So I'll be bringing some of these tricks with me, and hopefully the kids in Ireland are going to run around and get excited about mathematics.
I can't wait. So that's Maths Week Ireland, folks. And if you actually, it's worth going online to there's lots of stuff on the website.
There will be. And I know that we are also running loving maths classes for the 3, 4, 5, and 6-year-olds. I'm running story-based mathematics sessions every morning at 9 o'clock during Maths Week.
Oh, you're just amazing. You are so amazing.
I can't believe I even do these things.
Okay, so you're crazy and amazing, and I can't wait to see you and the missus, and have a safe journey. I don't like saying that. Have a fantastic journey. And
we're going to, because we love traveling. You know, when you travel on an airplane for more than 8 hours, unless you are flying business class, there's no glamour in it at all. But at least we're going to arrive and get there, and we'll be able to unfold our legs and be able to walk around, and it's going to be amazing. We're going to have an awesome time.
Sorry, fantastic. So go well, and see you on Friday.
Wonderful. Thanks for having me. And we should do this again.
Oh, please. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks
Enjoy.
a lot. Thank you. Bye-bye.